if you're not getting everything done and you're not hitting the deadlines to clients, it means that when you made an estimate, the estimate was inaccurate and didn't have enough buffer in it. Buffer doesn't just mean like we call it flex time or UUW time, right? This is putting flex time into our week for the things that we don't know are going to happen, but are definitely going to happen. So you could think about flex time in your week. You could also think about flex time on a monthly basis, right? So you could look at your month and say, do I have enough time put into my month to deal with the unforeseen things that are going to happen this month? Like having a friend sick and I need to go help them, or I get sick, or my car breaks down, right? You can even take that to the yearly basis. Have I put enough space into my year, to deal with the unforeseen, like in any given year, your mom could get sick. There could be a major setback in your life. You could break up with a girlfriend, right? There's big things that could happen on a yearly basis that require you to put a little bit of extra buffer in your life to just anticipate the unanticipatable, right? But also when you think about it, just in terms of your lifestyle, you could look at your lifestyle and say, do I have buffer in my lifestyle for things to go wrong, right? I'll tell you what I do. I work 28 hours a week, which means that actually something went wrong. I came back from vacation and something went wrong and I had to surge up to 40 hours. Guess what? When you're working 20 hours, surging to 40 is no problem. Smooth, easy. I've got buffer in my life. Does that make sense? I've got the ability to surge. I've got the ability to absorb. I'm resilient on every level, from the macro all the way down to the micro. You can look at your life and say, have I put some buffer? And in the beginning, I understand like it's hard when you're on defense to put any buffer at all. So even just a little bit is better than nothing. But that's the game that we play to say, like, because so many people will say, hey, but Tamir, you don't understand. I got sick this month. Okay, well, like everybody gets sick twice a year, right? So it's like sometimes people offer it to me like an excuse, but you don't understand. I got sick. Well, I've designed that into my life. I anticipate that I'm going to get sick a couple times a year, right? I don't use that as an excuse, right? I actually plan for the unexpected and I put buffer into my life. And when I make partnership deals or when I make a promise to a client, embedded in that promise is that I have more than enough time to meet that obligation. If everything you touch and every promise you made, you put 1% buffer into it, right? Just 1%. Okay. So like if I told them it was going to be 1 week, I'll make it 8 days. Instead of 7 days, I'll make it 8, right? Yeah. Or 7.5, right? I'm just going to put a little bit of buffer in every commitment that I make. I'll make it so little that nobody even notices that I'm putting buffer into it. But if you play that game for a month, 2 months, 3 months, all of a sudden you're going to be more resilient. Let's use the financial example. If you have just enough money to pay your bills, what happens if your car blows a tire? Yeah. You got nothing. You're out, right? You can't get to work, right? So that is financially brittle. That's not financially resilient. It's financially fragile, right? Meaning you have just enough money to fulfill on your financial obligations. And if anything happens that you don't expect, breakdown, right? What you want to do is you want to have more than enough money, a little bit of an emergency fund, a little bit of a savings to anticipate the unexpected financial calamities that happen to everybody. It's just the same thing with your time. I just want you to save up. That buffer is not selfish. It's you just saving up a little bit of time so that when those calamities happen that you can't control, you've got it. You can take a little bit from this project, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. You just take a little bit from everywhere and make it up.